Why is it called pie in the sky? The phrase pie in the sky is used to describe a promise of something desirable or beneficial that is unlikely to happen or is unrealistic. It often refers to hopes or plans that are overly optimistic or unattainable, usually in the context of something that sounds wonderful but is ultimately impractical or unlikely to be fulfilled. The origins of this phrase are rooted in early 20th century American labor movements and have since become a widely used idiom in the English language. Here's a detailed exploration of why it's called pie in the sky. Origins of the phrase. Coined by Joe Hill. The phrase pie in the sky was coined by Joe Hill, a Swedish-American labor activist and songwriter, in 1911. Hill was a member of the Industrial Workers of the World, IWW, a labor union that advocated for workers' rights and social justice. He wrote a song titled The Preacher and the Slave, which satirized the promises of religious leaders who offered spiritual rewards in the afterlife instead of addressing the immediate material needs of workers. Lyrics from The Preacher and the Slave. In the song, Hill criticized the notion that workers should endure hardship and poverty in the present in exchange for the promise of heavenly rewards in the future. The relevant verse goes, "You will eat, by and by, in that glorious land above the sky. Work and pray, live on hay, you'll get pie in the sky when you die." This verse illustrates the idea that the promise of a pie in the sky is something desirable that is out of reach and only offered as a future reward, rather than addressing immediate needs. Meaning and metaphor. Metaphor of the pie. The pie in the sky represents something desirable, akin to a delicious and satisfying treat. Pies are often associated with comfort, indulgence, and enjoyment, making them a fitting symbol for something that people would want. The sky as a symbol of unattainability. The sky in the phrase represents something distant, unreachable, and beyond ordinary human grasp. By placing the pie in the sky, the phrase emphasizes the unrealistic or unattainable nature of the promise or reward. Critique of unrealistic promises. The phrase is often used to critique promises or goals that are overly optimistic or based on wishful thinking. It highlights the gap between idealistic hopes and practical reality, suggesting that the promised reward may never materialize. Evolution and modern usage. Adoption into common language. Over time, pie in the sky has been adopted into common usage, extending beyond its original context of labor activism. It is now used in various contexts to describe any promise, plan, or idea that seems appealing but is unlikely to be realized. In politics and social commentary. In political and social commentary, the phrase is often used to describe policies, promises, or proposals that are viewed as unrealistic or unattainable. For example, a politician might be accused of offering pie-in-the-sky promises if they propose ambitious goals without a clear or feasible plan to achieve them. In everyday conversation. In everyday conversation, people use the phrase to express skepticism about something that sounds too good to be true. For instance, someone might say, "That new business plan sounds like a pie in the sky," meaning it's unlikely to succeed because it's based on overly optimistic assumptions. Cultural impact. Symbol of unfulfilled dreams. The phrase has become a symbol of unfulfilled dreams and unattainable goals. It serves as a cautionary reminder to approach promises and plans with a sense of realism and to be wary of ideas that seem too good to be true. Legacy of Joe Hill. Joe Hill's use of the phrase in his song has left a lasting impact on language and culture. It reflects the struggles of working-class people and the critique of those who offer empty promises instead of addressing real, immediate needs. Summary. The phrase pie in the sky was coined by labor activist Joe Hill in 1911 in his song The Preacher and the Slave. It refers to the promise of something desirable, symbolized by a pie, that is placed out of reach, symbolized by the sky. The phrase critiques unrealistic promises and has evolved to describe any overly optimistic or unattainable goal. It is widely used in political, social, and everyday contexts to express skepticism about something that sounds too good to be true. The phrase remains a powerful reminder to approach grand promises with caution and a realistic perspective. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe for more Why Is It Called videos.